You want to just make her get out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Open. Hands up. Hands up.
I got him. Hands up, hands up, hands. It's all right. Hands high. Up to your face away from my face away. Get on the ground.
All the way down. All the way
on the ground. Watch that right.
There might be someone in the back seat. I can't tell. Man, was there anybody else in my back seat?
All right, we're moving up. Good. You guys ready?
That's good. Who's with them?
Ready?
Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach. Stomach. Arms out. Arms out.
Yep.
So it's just 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's what you brought.
No, I don't.
I got some.
I stole yours.
I got another pair.
Back seat clear? Yeah.
Got it. All right, back seat clear.
Did he call there was?
Yeah.
Confident on that card? You want to hit the trunk?
Yep. Let's put it in.
If you can get out, you can. Watch cross.
You got four. Anthony. What you made? Well, do it, man. Run down.
A black Chrysler 300 pulls into a family driveway in Southfield, Michigan. Riley Donaldson gets out and walks to her mother's front door. 3 minutes later, she returns to the car and drives off. Inside the house, her mother was seriously injured. The person who hurt her was the daughter she'd been supporting through everything. And when police questioned Riley, she gave a very unusual response.
In my 28 years of policing, I've seen severe mental illness where that person doesn't understand what they're doing. What I'll tell you, this isn't it. And when you look at our contacts with our suspect, and you see it in the video, when she's arrested, she refers to herself, when the officers asked her name, refers to herself as God.
This is Fatal Family Network. Like, comment, and subscribe. Every case touches family. Ada Mae Simmons-Jones worked as a realtor in Southfield, Michigan. At 45, she had created a life built around family values. Her home wasn't just hers, she shared it with her husband and his elderly mother, creating a 3-generation household centered on love and support. But the most important role Ada Mae played was raising her 3-year-old granddaughter. This wasn't a temporary arrangement or occasional babysitting. Ada Mae had full legal custody of this child, because the courts had determined that the child's mother wasn't capable of providing proper care. That mother was Riley Donaldson, Ada Mae's 22-year-old daughter. Riley worked at Ford Motor Company and lived between Ohio and Michigan. Now, the court didn't make this decision based on financial reasons, but because Riley's behavior and choices had created a situation where her own mother had to step in to protect her granddaughter. Ada Mae didn't just take custody and cut Riley off. She allowed her daughter to visit the child whenever she wanted. No restrictions, no supervised visits. Ada Mae kept the door open for Riley to be part of her daughter's life while providing the stability that child needed.
When was the last time you ever did so childish to put your grandbaby? Me? It's almost every day. We're in the hotel. I'm teaching her the great thing about
Most young mothers would see this arrangement as a blessing: family support, unlimited access to their child, and a stable environment provided by someone who loves them both. But Riley's reaction was completely different. Instead of gratitude, Riley felt anger. Instead of appreciation, she developed resentment. The family member helping her most became the target of her frustration. By spring 2025, Riley's relationship with her mother was deteriorating publicly. She started posting messages on social media that revealed her true feelings about the family support she was receiving. In May, Riley posted, "My mom says she's worried, but I'm covered in his favor." This post shows how Riley responded to her mother's concern. Ada Mae was worried about her daughter's choices and her ability to care for herself. Any loving parent would have these concerns about a child who had lost custody of their own child. But Riley dismissed these worries, claiming she had some kind of divine protection that made her mother's concern unnecessary. What kind of daughter publicly dismisses a mother's genuine worry? A month passed, and Riley's posts became more confrontational. In June, she wrote, "Do you all want my mom's number so you can ask her personally if I ever cared?" This wasn't just a social media rant. Riley was essentially challenging anyone who questioned her commitment to her child by offering to let strangers contact her mother directly. Riley's baby father, Darnell Adams, was another source of chaos in this family situation. Their relationship played out on social media with arguments and accusations, filling their online interactions while their daughter, Price, remained caught in the middle. Ada Mae was the one providing stability for that child while both parents created drama around her. In July, Riley posted something that revealed just how deep her resentment toward her family had grown. She wrote a detailed message about Darnell Adams, but in that post was something much more concerning. She wrote, "The only reason Darnell isn't in jail right now is because of my mother and Price. Not because he's innocent, but because I'm the only one who takes what happens to me seriously. They had the chance to do right by me. When I spoke up, when I said I'd been assaulted, I was not taken to the hospital. I was left unprotected. I don't play about me, others do. I have documentation. I have proof. So before anybody runs to defend him or try to silence me again, please don't anger me off. I've protected people who wouldn't even flinch if it was me. That stops here." Riley was publicly blaming her mother for failing to protect her. She was building a narrative that positioned her mother as someone who had let her down when she was vulnerable. But even with all these, Ada Mae was actively protecting Riley's daughter. She was allowing unlimited visits and maintaining a relationship between Riley and her child. In August 2025, Riley took her daughter and disappeared to Ohio without permission. This wasn't a planned visit or discussed trip. Riley simply took the child from Ada Mae's custody and left the state. Ada Mae was worried, so she contacted police immediately to report her granddaughter missing. She explained that Riley had certain challenges and had also stolen her vehicle. This wasn't just about a custody dispute. Ada Mae was genuinely concerned for her granddaughter's safety. The child was located safely in Ohio and the car was recovered. When Riley was brought back to Michigan, Ada Mae decided not to press charges, but she did petition for her daughter to undergo an evaluation. By October 2025, Riley had made a decision that would destroy multiple lives. On October 5th, Riley Donaldson bought a 2017 Chrysler 300 from a private seller that morning. By evening, Ada Mae was home with her family. She didn't know that her daughter was driving north from Ohio, carrying something that would destroy everything they had created as a family. Just before midnight, that black Chrysler 300 pulled into Ada Mae's driveway. From the surveillance footage, Riley stepped out of the car with her purse and walked toward the front door of the home. The confrontation happened quickly, and 3 minutes later, Riley entered the vehicle and drove off. The 77-year-old grandmother heard disturbing sounds coming from downstairs. Then she heard footsteps running toward the front door. She didn't call 911 directly. In her confusion, she called her son, Ada Mae's husband. He's the one who contacted emergency services. By the time first responders arrived at 11:50 p.m., Ada Mae Simmons-Jones was gone. Riley had fled the scene, but in her rush to escape her family home, she left her purse behind. That purse contained her identification cards, personal items, and everything police would need to identify her immediately.
Well, a 22-year-old woman who is under arrest is charged with first-degree premeditated murder in the shooting of her own mother.
And the crime happened earlier this month at a home in Southfield. Fox News' Ingrid Kelly has the details tonight. Southfield police detailing a shocking and deadly case of violence that happened in this house behind me on October 5th. Around 11:40 p.m., police responded to this home on Bainbridge Drive on reports of shots fired. Security camera video shows this woman, 22-year-old Riley Donaldson out of Ohio, allegedly arriving to the home a short time before those 911 calls were made. The investigation revealed this is the home of Donaldson's mother, 45-year-old Ada Mae Simmons-Jones, who Donaldson allegedly fatally shot several times before you see her quickly exiting the home and driving away, leaving her purse behind. Inside the home, an elderly relative and a 3-year-old girl who police say is Donaldson's daughter. However, Simmons-Jones had legal custody of her grandchild. After the alleged shooting, Donaldson went to Ohio for a couple of hours before driving to Detroit, where police say she was taken into custody on October 6.
Riley drove straight back to Ohio, crossing state lines as a fugitive. She stayed in the Toledo area for approximately 2 hours, after which she drove back to Michigan, specifically to Detroit. Meanwhile, back in Southfield, detectives were working to piece together what had happened in Ada Mae's home. They collected surveillance footage from neighborhood cameras that showed the Chrysler 300 arriving and leaving. They had Riley's purse with her identification and had witness testimony. Most importantly, they had phone records that placed Riley's phone at Ada Mae's house during the exact time of the incident. Investigators also discovered that Riley had purchased that Chrysler 300 on the same day as the incident. This made them believe that this wasn't a moment of anger, but was planned. Detectives began tracking Riley's movements using surveillance cameras and cell phone data. They contacted police departments in Ohio to search for potential evidence Riley might have disposed of during her 2-hour stay there. On October 6th, just one day after, Riley was spotted in Detroit. Southfield detectives, working with the Oakland County Auto Theft Task Force and their Tactical Crime Suppression Unit, located the black Chrysler 300 in the area of Finkel and St. Mary. They followed the vehicle to a CVS at 7 Mile and Greenfield. Riley had backed the car into a parking spot in front of the store and was sitting in the front passenger seat. When officers approached the vehicle, Riley was taken into custody without incident. 3 men were also in the vehicle, but investigators determined these men had no connection to the incident. When officers asked for her name during the investigation, Riley gave a rather unusual response. She replied, "God."
You got one company. What's your name? Do it, man. Riley Donaldson.
Riley believed she had divine authority over her family members' lives. She had appointed herself as the ultimate judge of who deserved to live and who deserved not to. In her mind, she was a deity making righteous decisions. When officers informed Riley that she was being arrested for harming her mother, she responded, "Okay." No shock, no denial, no grief about what she had done to her mother. Riley was transported to the police station where detectives attempted to interview her. On October 10, 2025, Riley Donaldson was charged on first-degree premeditated charges and felony firearm possession. The judge denied bond. She would remain in the Oakland County Jail indefinitely while awaiting trial.
5, and charged with first-degree murder and felony firearm. I ask that you please hold all your questions until the conclusion of this briefing and turn off or mute any cell phones or other electronic devices. Also, please wait to be escorted back to the main lobby. A press packet is available on the back table, which includes a USB drive of all files presented here today. Also, for record-keeping purposes, we ask that you complete our media sign-in sheet. And without any further delay, Chief Barron.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And as I always say, thank you to the media for being here. And also thank you for your patience. I know after this incident occurred, the media was calling, members of the community was calling, because anytime there's a homicide, it does generate a lot of concern in our neighborhood. I did have an opportunity to speak to the husband of the deceased. I spoke to him yesterday. I didn't want to have a press conference and not have had conversation with him to advise him on the nature of the investigation and the press conference. Certainly want to send our condolences to the family. In fact, we do have friends and family who've joined us here in the audience today to hear the sequence of events and our investigation. I want to remind everybody that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In fact, the Southfield Police Department recently completed a Domestic Violence Awareness Walk. I also spoke at the West Bloomfield Henry Ford Silent Witness ceremony that they partner with Haven every year. And one thing that stands out about this month, oftentimes we spend a lot of time when we have discussions about domestic violence centering on intimate partner violence. But another aspect of domestic violence that we're going to have to pay more attention to is family violence. We've seen son kill father. We've seen brother kill sister. And in this case, unfortunately, daughter kills the mother. So family violence is worthy of those conversations and resources as well. So this incident began on Sunday, October 5th at approximately 11:40 p.m. Southfield police officers were dispatched to the 18,000 block of Bainbridge Drive on report of a shooting that just occurred. Southfield police and fire arrived on scene and immediately began life-saving measures on an unresponsive female. Despite those efforts by first responders, the victim was pronounced deceased at the scene. While rendering first aid, first responders observed several spent casings and observed the victim with a gunshot wound to the chest, back, and a graze wound to her head. The victim was identified as 45-year-old Southfield resident Ada Mae Simmons-Jones. Southfield officers determined that the 77-year-old female and a 3-year-old child were present in the home at the time the shooting occurred. However, both were unharmed. The 77-year-old female is a resident of the home, and she's the victim's mother-in-law, who does have some physical health challenges. She heard approximately 3 to 4 gunshots and then heard someone run outside the front door. Our officers responded to the scene and began collecting evidence, surveillance video, and our detectives really worked tirelessly on this case. Southfield officers and detectives searched the home, canvassed the area for surveillance videos, and utilized advanced technology to determine the sequence of events. Neighborhood surveillance video captured a dark-colored Chrysler 300 drive down Bainbridge and pull into the driveway where the shooting occurred. The suspect, later identified as Riley Donaldson, exits the driver's side of the vehicle and approaches the front door of the residence. Minutes later, Donaldson is seen exiting the residence, enter the front driver's seat of the Chrysler 300, and quickly speed away from the crime scene. And you're going to see that later on when I show that video. However, in a hurry to flee from the scene, our suspect left her purse behind, which contained identifying items. Our suspect, and I'm going to remind you, the daughter of our victim, is a resident of Cincinnati, Ohio, and does not reside at that home. We believe that the gun was concealed inside of that purse as she entered that home. The investigation also revealed through phone records that our suspect was at the home during the time of the shooting. And that's why I mentioned the importance of using technology in these investigations. Our investigation also determined that Donaldson purchased a 2017 Chrysler 300 from a private seller on October 5th of this year. And I bring that up because when you look at the video is grainy, but you can still see the silhouette of the Chrysler 300 if you know your vehicles. Our detectives continued using technology to strengthen our case, and immediately following the shooting, she fled to Ohio, just outside of Toledo, in the area of Lake Township and Pittsburgh Township, where she remained in that area for approximately 2 hours and then drove to the city of Detroit. And I'm going to pause here. So I'm going to tell you, this investigation revealed that this homicide, this murder, was premeditated. And immediately following the shooting, as I stated in my remarks, she fled to Ohio. And we did contact both those cities' police departments because she was there for about 2 hours. We believe that somewhere between the time of the shooting and her path towards Ohio, we believe she may have discarded that weapon. So we did ask those agencies to search the general area. However, they were not able to locate the gun. On Monday, October 6th, at approximately 1:30 p.m., Southfield detectives and detectives from the Oakland County Auto Theft Task Force and our Southfield Tactical Crime Suppression Unit located the black Chrysler 300 occupied by our suspect in the area of Finkel and St. Mary's in the city of Detroit. Detectives set up surveillance and followed the vehicle to a CVS at the 7 Mile location in the area of Greenfield in the city of Detroit. The Chrysler 300 was backed into a parking spot in front of the store, and 3 males were also in the car with Donaldson. The investigation revealed that these 3 men did not have anything to do with the homicide. Detectives observed our suspect Donaldson as a front seat passenger in the front seat of the Chrysler 300. Responding officers initiated a traffic stop of the vehicle, and Donaldson was taken into custody without incident. And I will show that video here momentarily. I also want to put some context to this, because oftentimes when you have a homicide, particularly you talk about a daughter killing her mother, there must have been some type of conflict. So what we determined is that on Friday, August 22nd of this year, right around 4:30 p.m., Southfield officers were dispatched to the same home on a report of a missing child. The reporting party was our deceased, Miss Ada Mae Simmons-Jones, where she contacted Southfield Dispatch and stated that her daughter, our suspect, Riley Donaldson, had taken her granddaughter, whom Mrs. Simmons-Jones has legal guardianship over the 3-year-old child. And yes, that's the child that was at the home at the time of the shooting. She further advised dispatch that our suspect suffered from mental illness and that she stole her vehicle and took the 3-year-old child and the family dog. The victim's vehicle, which was a Kia Sedona, that was taken by a suspect, was recovered by the Swanson Police Department in Toledo, Ohio, along with a 3-year-old child who was unharmed. However, the dog was never recovered. On Wednesday, August 27th of the same year, the victim, Miss Jones, she did not wish to pursue criminal charges for the theft of the vehicle or for the taking of the grandchild. And probably because, as you know, we love our children and didn't necessarily want to prosecute her daughter. However, Miss Jones did petition for her daughter to be hospitalized, and Southfield police officers did take her into custody and then transfer her to Common Ground for a mental health evaluation. When you look at the criminal history of our suspect, she does not have a criminal history, but with our evidence and our investigation, the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office did authorize charges for Riley Donaldson. Again, she's 22 years old. She's a resident of Cincinnati, Ohio. And count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated. Count 2, weapons, felony firearm. She was given no bond, and her next court date is scheduled for October 27th of this year at 9:45 a.m. Before Judge Johnson. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time, talking about the fact that, again, this was premeditated. The prosecutor's office agreed, issued those charges, and I know your next question will surround me regarding mental health and how do you hold individuals accountable. So in my 28 years of policing, I've seen severe mental illness where that person doesn't understand what they're doing. What I'll tell you, this isn't it. And when you look at our contacts with our suspect, and you'll see it in the video, when she's arrested she refers to herself, when the officers asked her name, refers to herself as God. Also, when our detectives brought her to the station and began to interview or attempt to interview her, she immediately asked for a lawyer. So she's very conscious of the legal system. She's very conscious of calling herself God, because you all know when individuals do that declaration, they're letting us know that they decide who lives and who dies. And so, again, we're not going to allow anyone to use mental health as escape. There's a process for that where a judge will decide whether a person is deemed fit to stand trial for mental illness through a process. But again, our evidence with the way the shooting took place at 11:40 at night, the way you're going to see this vehicle hurry up and escape the crime scene, the fleeing to Ohio to remove yourself from the state of Michigan, particularly Southfield, Michigan, in a close proximity of the time of the shooting, so that you could say that you were in Ohio, not knowing that technology is going to place you at the home at the time of the shooting, not knowing that technology is going to allow us as a police department to track your movements from the crime scene all the way to Ohio. And so, with that being said, I'm going to dim these lights, and we're going to show the moment in which the Chrysler 300 arrived at the home to commit this heinous crime. Please lower the lights and play the video. No audio. But it will be audio. I'm sorry. It will be audio for the arrest. I'm going to show the arrest as well, where you're going to hear her call herself God. And before you push play, look at the top. When the car pulls into the driveway, I want you to notice the floodlight comes on when she exits the house. The floodlight comes on when she leaves the house. And also the top of the car, you'll see our suspect, it's grainy, but you can see it's a female with a bonnet on. And it will be the same look as when we locked her up for her crimes. But play the video, please. And when this vehicle exits or flees, watch how the vehicle appears to drive into a ditch, quickly trying to escape. Again, that's someone who's conscious of what they're doing. Now, the next video we're going to show is Southfield police officers, Oakland County Auto Theft Task Force, and our detectives' arrest after the, again, surveillance operation took place.
You want to get out? Yeah. Hands up, hands up.
Hands up, hands up, hands. It's all right. Hands high. Step your face away from the face away. On the ground. All the way down. On the ground. Watch that right.
There might be someone in the backseat. I can't tell. There's everybody else in the backseat.
All right, move it up. That's right. Okay, move it up.
Grab your stomach, arms out.
Just 1 minute.
I got something.
I stole yours.
I got another thing. That's your thing.
Stop around that car. On the front. You can get out. You can. One cross. You got more nothing.
And the next would be a still of the vehicle. Again, that Chrysler 300, just for your information purposes. All right, this time we can turn the lights back on, and then the media refocus. Take it down. All right, at this point, I'm going to open up the floor for questions from our reporters in the room.
You had mentioned the police call previously to the residents, the mother not wanting to press charges. Can you elaborate on the fact, was she allegedly angry over the mother trying to regain custody, or if you believe that is specifically what motivated this days later?
Yeah, so I believe that that's a contributing factor to the conflict between mother and daughter was the custodial rights of the child. What I'm told by family is that the mother was very accommodating to the suspect, allowing her to see the child pretty much whenever she wanted to see the child. But again, through conflicts between mother-daughter relationship, probably upset that her mother has legal custody, it probably brewed other conflicts and arguments that may have led up to the homicide. We never will really know the full extent of why someone would choose to kill their mother, but we do believe that it does center around the possibility of the custodial arrangements with the 3-year-old child.
That the attack took place late at night, based on the video timing. So was mom in bed? Or can you do any description of the crime scene? Did she walk in and not know this was coming, or if you're able to elaborate?
Yeah, it does appear that our victim was taken by surprise, did not necessarily know it was coming. I think based on the evidence in the crime scene, she knew that the suspect, her daughter, was in the room. And then, obviously, looking at the time frame that she was in the house, which was not that long, just several minutes, I believe she committed this act very quickly and then fled.
So I'm sorry to clarify, from what you pulled up, the video when she left was how long?
Just under 3 minutes. Any other questions from the media? Well, again, thank you all for being here. Again, condolences to the family. I do, again, want to appreciate the family and friends who did join us in the room. And again, to the Southfield detectives who worked this case. This could have very well been a whodunit situation. So I want to give the Southfield detectives, particularly our lead detective, credit on this case. It's important that the families have closure, families have an understanding of what took place. And I know it's difficult for the family because in essence, they lose 2 people, one to the criminal justice system and another to death. But the work, the passion that our agency displayed and using, I keep saying it, using technology to uncover the truth. Because again, this was planned, premeditated murder. And I'm gonna thank our detectives for their tireless work on bringing closure to the family and our community. Thank you.
You have
So the child has been turned over to the grandfather. Yes.
spelling of the victim's name?
Yes. And I'll give it to you offline. Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you all. Okay, so those who want the name ADA, and then middle name MAE, and then last name Simmons, common spelling, -Jones.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. She's 45. Let me double check that and see she's 45. Yeah, 45. Yeah.
The prosecution had overwhelming evidence of premeditation. The surveillance footage showing Riley arriving at her family home, the purse left behind with her identification, phone records placing her at the scene during the incident, witness testimony from the elderly family member who heard everything, and the same-day car purchase proving advanced planning. But Riley's defense team wasn't prepared to accept that this was simply a case of family betrayal. Judge Sheila Johnson ordered an evaluation to determine Riley's competency to stand trial. This evaluation was scheduled to take place before Riley's next court date on January 21st, 2026. The child, who had been at the center of the custody dispute, now lives with Ada Mae's husband, her step-grandfather. This little girl had lost the only stable parental figure she had ever known. Looking back at Riley's social media posts, the signs were visible. Her May post dismissing her mother's concerns, her June post publicly challenging anyone who questioned her dedication to her child, and her July post blaming her mother for failing to protect her. Each post showed her building resentment, creating justification, and preparing for conflict with the person who was helping her most. Ada Mae had chosen family loyalty over prosecution. When Riley crossed the line in August, taking her daughter to Ohio without permission, she had opened her home, her heart, and her life to support both her daughter and granddaughter. Instead, Riley saw her as the enemy that she needed to get rid of. This is Fatal Family Network. Like, comment, and subscribe. Every case touches family.